What are the 6 questions to ask when buying new construction? We'll cover that today on Frequently Asked Friday. What are the 6 questions to ask when buying new construction? My name is Elliott with the Elliott Real Estate Team. If you would, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff for the algorithm. We did it all for the algorithm. But 6 questions that you need to ask when you're buying new construction, which a lot of people just kind of rush into just because it's fun, it's exciting, it's sexy. Man, those model homes look good. But 6 questions that I would submit to you that you need to ask. First and foremost, who does that sales representative, the builder rep, who do they represent? And that's kind of a loaded question. We already know the answer. That sales rep, as nice as they are, as attractive as they are, as big of a smile as they have, just keep in mind that they work for the builder. So if it's going to come down to it, they are going to look out for the builder's interest. They are required to, they are employed to suck as much money out of you as physically possible and hand it over to the builder. That's their job. Now, I'm not saying they're not good people. I'm not saying they're nice, but you really got to realize that they do not have to have your fiduciary interest at heart. So I'm a little biased, but I think this is where having a real estate agent in your corner representing you in new construction plays to your advantage, just because you've got somebody dedicated to you in your corner that's looking out for your interests. That's question number 1. Question number 2, what features and upgrades are included with the home that I'm buying? So this is kind of a pet peeve of mine, but new construction, depending on the builder, depending on the sales rep, can be a little bit deceiving as far as what you're actually going to be getting at the end of the day. And you want to make sure all of that is in writing and you have a clear understanding of what you're getting and what you're not getting. A lot of times in new construction, or I would say pretty much every time in new construction, you're going to walk into a fully decked out model home with all the bells and whistles that are available. Some builders actually even put upgrades into their homes that are not even available upgrades. Builder not to be named because I don't want to be sued by a large corporation. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of the traditional bait and switch, if I may, that you see at a car dealership where you show up on the lot. They're going to show you the fully decked out model and get you all excited about it. And then when you can't afford it, they're going to move you down to more of a base level product. So kind of the same philosophy in new construction. And like I said before, make sure any expectations you have of included features and upgraded features, all of that gets detailed in writing, because at the end of the day, if there's any disagreement, all that's going to matter is what's on paper and signed by both parties. Third question to ask is the price subject to change? Now, this is kind of a new interesting one that we're seeing in 2022. We saw it in 2021, we saw it in 2022, but with all the material shortages, a lot of builders now are building in price escalations, or what do they call them? Material price escalations, where basically you will sign a contract at a certain price, and then they will come back to you right before they start construction or lay the foundation, or whatever their point in the process is, and they will say, hey, there have been price increases in these materials. The new price of the home is going to be X. Do you want to still move forward? Now, some builders are doing a better job than others as far as kind of disclosing this whole process before they get started. I had a couple clients last year where they just kind of hit them with a $15,000, take it or leave it kind of approach. Wasn't received too well, but that's something to know going into it, that hey, this home could be more expensive. Price never goes down. This home could be more expensive at the end of the day, if the material costs go up. Fourth question, how long will this take? So we are experiencing, at the time of this recording, we're experiencing major delays or very long build times just because of the shortage of labor, the increased demand in housing, and all of the material issues that we're seeing. So a lot of builders are saying 8 to 12 months, some are saying 6 months, but you want to have a clear understanding of what the projected timetable is, and then what is the likelihood that they're actually going to be able to stick to that timetable. So you might want to ask some probing questions of, if they're telling you 6 months, okay, what's the chance that that gets pushed out a little bit? And just make sure you have a contingency plan if it does, because inevitably it more likely will get pushed out just a little bit. Question number 5, do you have any past clients I can speak with? Any reputable builder, especially you want to watch out with a smaller builder. Do you have some references I can check? Do you have some homeowners that I can talk to that have built a home with you and ask them about their experience? Some of them, might say, hey, for confidentiality, we don't do that. One thing you can do if you're going into a neighborhood where homes have already been completed, just knock on the front door and say, hey, I'm thinking about building with XYZ. How was your experience? If they had a bad experience, they will be more than happy to tell you about it. But that's a good way just to gauge how good of a transactional experience is this going to be. And then last but not least, can I do a home inspection before closing? This is a loaded question because I believe legally you're allowed to, but if the builder shies away from this at all, I would suggest running the other way. It's basically saying, hey, I'm not willing to be held accountable for what I build. And I would absolutely recommend you get a third-party inspection from somebody that you hire to go in, look at the home before you take possession, before you give them all your money, to make sure that they built you a quality home. They're gonna, convince you that, hey, you got this warranty for a year, you don't have to worry about it, we're gonna be here, we're awesome, we love you, we're gonna take care of you. All that is great, and all that might be true. I would still absolutely recommend getting your own independent home inspection, and if there's any issues, hopefully they can find it, and that way you're not having to deal with the headache after the fact. So, hope all this made sense. Hope you found this useful. If you had anything I didn't address, or if you have any other questions, throw it in the comments. Thanks for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you next week.